Welcome to Reapit's Apps in the Spotlight podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome to Reapit's Apps in the Spotlight podcast, an opportunity to learn more about the new apps and integrations that have launched on Reapit's App Market. Every couple of weeks, we hear from a different partner to give us a quick introduction to their PropTech service, outline the main features of their product, and explain the key benefits for Reapit users. In this podcast, we focus on Keyzapp, and joining us is their founder and director, Tim Hill. Thank you for coming on.
Hi Rajen, it's great to be here.
Pleasure is all ours, Tim. Before we get started on the app integration, can you tell us about Keyzapp as a company?
Yeah, so we set up Keyzapp about 6 years ago now, and the goal behind it really was to give you complete confidence that you know where your keys are at any given time. The very first agent we worked with had all those classic problems. You know, you go to the key cabinet, the key you want isn't where you expected it to be. And I think pretty much everybody who's had to manage keys at any point has experienced that. Definitely. And Keyzapp, really, what we sort of learned very quickly was you need more than just a log, basically, to be able to stay in touch with who has what. Keys are notoriously difficult to handle because you've got lots of different types of people that access them. They need to be in different places for different amounts of time. And we felt that there was a really good opportunity to bring in some new technology to really make that process easier for everyone. Just to give you a quick overview of how it works, there's sort of three kind of main components to it. So the first thing is that we actually digitize each physical set of keys with a smart fob. So that uses a contactless technology, just like your credit card, really. Yeah. And the idea is that that makes it very easy to identify a single set of keys. So instead of having to either write in a logbook or potentially look up in your CRM system to sign a key out, you literally just touch it to a device. And that might be a phone, it might be a reader you plug into the computer, whatever really. So the idea is very quick, very easy to get keys in and out. And that just means it's easy for people to follow your key process. The next thing then is to actually have smart processes as well. So one of the things you probably notice is that not everybody, for example, who needs to take keys has access to Reapit to book them out, for example. So by bringing those processes to the right people using the right devices, again, we kind of make that much easier. And you can do things like pass keys across between people outside of the office, as well as having that central log that kind of sits within the office itself. And probably the most important thing of anything is chasing the keys back. So if you give a set of keys out, it's really important that those keys come back as quickly as possible. And so Keyzapp provides an awful lot around making sure that if keys don't come back on time, people are reminded. And that goes for people who have the keys, but also maybe members of your team as well, so that everybody's aware that something needs to happen to make sure those keys come back, saves them getting lost and saves those embarrassing moments that can sometimes happen when a key isn't where you expect it to be.
Great. Now let's hear about Keyzapp's integration.
Sure. So it all starts really by you've got your properties in Reapit. And what Keyzapp does is it enables you to take that basic information from Reapit and then manage keys within Keyzapp's log, which actually then embellishes like the standard key functionality that Reapit has. So it enables you to do those things by tracking with your phone where a key might be, for example. That's the sort of starting point for it. And really from there, as we go and develop the integration, the possibilities are going to get much, much more exciting as well.
And how would you summarize the key benefits?
So I think the main benefit most people say is just the elimination of this kind of costly headache of people managing keys. It's one of those things that people don't always know kind of what the real cost of that is. So a lot of people will maybe be aware that every so often a key might need to be replaced because it got lost. And that, of course, is a cost. But then there's also the interruption that goes on, the time lost because people are looking for keys when they should be doing other things. So that's probably the main benefit I think most people see. And then I've already kind of mentioned that you get those embarrassing situations sometimes. I was in an agent the other day where a key had gone missing and a contractor needed the key, but there was actually a prospective client in the office at the same time. And they were watching the kind of chaos that was going in the office as everyone in the staff was sort of saying, well, did you have it last? Did you have it? And the kind of knock-on effect that can have can sometimes be quite significant. So just being able to know, to have confidence in where everything is great. And then I suppose the third thing really is compliance. What you're able to do with Keyzapp is with very high confidence know exactly where a key has been at any given time. So if anybody needs that, if you need to prove anything, you've got that log and you can have real confidence in it. So yeah, that's probably the three main things that people get from it.
Wonderful. And could you just elaborate on those customer savings?
It's a kind of tricky subject for a lot of people, actually, cost savings around keys, because a lot of people don't really record it. And actually, that's one of the problems. So what Keyzapp does is it almost gives you the opportunity to kind of manage to see what's going on. And that helps you put more of a cost against it. There's a famous phrase, isn't there? You know, what gets measured gets managed. And Keyzapp actually provides you that opportunity to be able to much more easily measure what's going on. In terms of actual cost savings, I think most of our clients would quite happily say that it's a typical branch might look at about a £200 a month saving in terms of staff time, that sort of thing. But there's actually a lot else that goes on with that, such as, you know, like the impression you give to your clients when keys are not right and things like that, which is very hard to put a value on. So I like to think that the actual benefit per branch is a lot more than that.
Awesome. And are there any plans for further development and additional functionality?
So I think where we're at really with the integration at the moment is the sort of thing that most of our customers have been asking for, which is being able to synchronize Reapit data into Keyzapp. And so Keyzapp can then do its thing. We also do send journal entries, for example, back into Reapit. The next phases are where I personally am getting much more excited, because we're going to be able to do things like tie in with the appointment booking system, for example. So reserving keys for appointments through Reapit, and also with the task system I mentioned very briefly earlier on, when a key isn't back and somebody needs to do something about it, to be able to bring some of those things from Keyzapp back into Reapit, where people are working most of their time, I think is just really going to accelerate people's processes even more and really streamline things for them. So yeah, there's a big roadmap ahead, and we're really keen to talk to anybody about that. We've got a slide that we can share and sort of talk it through if anybody's interested, and show you really where we're going to take this.
Thanks, Tim. And thank you to Keyzapp for that quick summary of their app integration. If you'd like to find out more about their product offering, you can find them on our partners page, which is reapit.com/foundations/partners/Keyzapp. And if you are an existing enterprise client that is interested in installing the app integration for your agency, you can inquire via the partner page, or simply get in touch with your customer success manager. As with every app, installation takes seconds. But that's all for this episode. Hope you found it useful, and until next time. Cheers, Tim.
Excellent. Good stuff.
Thank you for listening to Reapit's Apps in the Spotlight podcast.